She's after the dog.
Oh, Lord. So I was in for, I was active duty for almost 8 years, right? So at the end of that, all right, well, first of all, the whole time you're in, they talk to you about, or you hear shit like, oh, you need to man up, don't be a pussy, shit like that, right? If I would have known then what I know now, every time I had the sniffles, I'd have been at fucking sick call. But as it turns out, I only went to sick call once, and I had to go to the ER once because I had this chemical spilled on me. And after we saw it bubble the paint off the plane,
oh God,
we decided to get me to the ER. This was before me and Amber were married. Oh my God, what an asshole! Just yelling at people. But anyway, so that when I went to the ER when I was in tech school, when that shit was spilled on me, that's not in my medical records. Even though I'm like 80% sure that's just all carcinogen, just dumped all over my head. But so every year you have an audiology appointment, and they test your hearing because that's what they do in audiology. And I work the flight line, and so I had this every year, and that is in my medical records. And then at the end, when you're out processing, you do a final audiology appointment. And they said, oh yeah, Sergeant Stevens, your hearing's gotten better. And I'm like, well, I fucking doubt it, but whatever. So I have this ringing in my ear. It's called tinnitus. Funny thing, you can't disprove somebody has tinnitus. That's impossible to do. And there's kind of this unwritten thing that if you've been on the flight line for years,
that's just common sense.
It's kind of a rubber stamp 10% for hearing loss. Well, not for me.
Well, I mean, I don't even understand how you could work with and around airplanes for that amount of time and it not in some way.
And they even know that the military got those defective earplugs.
That was like a thing, because I sent you a link about that.
Yeah, and so I went and did all of that. And before you go to an appointment, they send you this questionnaire, and I filled out my questionnaire. And one of the questions was, have you, and this is verbatim.
They always trying to trick fuck you on those questionnaires.
Oh, they didn't try to trick, but it was very obvious fucking.
Yeah, it's like as soon as you read the question, you're like, I'm screwed.
Yeah, it said, have you ever been exposed to loud noise? This is before you went to the military.
In your life.
Have anybody's answer no to that?
Yeah, it's like, no, asshole. I grew up in a soundproof bubble and then went straight into the Air Force. Fucking ignorant bastards. So I filled all this shit out. I went there. They pressurized my ears and didn't tell me they were going to do it. That was great.
I bet that hurt.
Oh, motherfuck. So anyway, and when I was done, I said, all right, well, doc, what do you think? He said, well, you have hearing loss, but not according to the VA standards. And I said, oh, okay. So they sent me a letter that said, and I quote, we believe your hearing loss was caused by something else.
Even though you worked on airplanes for them for 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm doing my slow blink for those of you that can't see it.
So according to the civilian world, I have hearing loss. But according to the VA, I don't.
Right.
And according to the VA, my hearing loss...
And according to his wife, he seriously does.
According to the VA, the hearing loss that I don't have, according to them, was caused by something else.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So that being said, I can't be seen at the VA for anything.
See, I just don't... like I said, I just did not... Until you mentioned that about not being able to see it. I mean, we've spent like at least 2 days a week together for like 10, 12 years. I did not realize that.
And since I didn't retire,
that's why you can't do the base privileges.
The only people that can't or that can go on base and shit are 100% disabled vets or retired vets
or active duty.
Well, yeah, active duty, guard,
but I mean, I just
reserve.
don't understand that. I don't understand why that doesn't make sense to me. You honorably completed your time with him. You left in good standing.
Yep.
There was no if you were still within the age.
I still am.
You still are. So you could go back today.
I could go back in for another 2 years, 2 or 3 years.
Is it different for men?
No, I'm sorry. I could go back in for another 5 because I was 25 when I got out. Wait.
In the Army, at least for women in the Army, the cutoff date was 35.
That's for going in initially.
Oh,
But it's,
Yeah.
if you've been in,
Yeah,
it's,
if you're honorably discharged and all that shit, like I was, it's like what is it? Maybe it's like the number of years that I.
service, like a formula.
Yeah, there's a formula, but it's like in my 40s, I can still go back in.
So yeah, that makes no sense to me. If you're in good enough standing that they would take you back today if you decided to go, I don't understand why you don't have those privileges.
Which I absolutely am. Then drop 50 pounds and head over to
that's
the
what I'm saying.
recruiter's office.
I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not doubting your word. I just don't understand the logic. You know, like I don't understand the logic of
Charlie.
He's like, I'm very hungry, damn it.
He's such a fat ass.
Oh, you're not fat.
Yeah, he is. Just
Y'all still
Fat
have like
people
an
are sensitive.
hour.
he's like
He's Taylor.
It's-
He's a fat kid in a itty-bitty body.
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
We always tell her she's the fattest skinny person we know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me. I just it seems like a small thing to give when you've given part of your life, and I understand that you're paid and all that, but I mean, no.
Oh, that's funny.
But I mean,
when we were first married, we first moved to Little Rock. So we'd been married a month or two.
Yeah, a month, I think.
My paychecks were $350 on the 1st and the
I thought
15th.
it was two something.
No, it was $350. Actually, I think it was $374 on the 1st and the 15th.
Wow.
Do you know what you can?
okay, but yeah, you
My
had
mortgage is more than that.
but you didn't have to pay a mortgage. So I mean, there are things.
No,
that come
but I
out
had to
that-
pay everything. I didn't have to pay a mortgage or utilities. But we still had a car payment. We still had fucking insurance. We still had to buy food and all of that
Oh my
kind of
God,
stuff.
we lived mostly on rice and noodles for the first year we
Yeah.
were married.
Oh, at least
We'd buy
year.
the great big 5-pound log of the fattiest meat
Yeah,
they
like,
buy
it's
at
like,
the
yeah, like
grocery store.
50% fat.
And as soon as that was done for the paycheck, rice and noodles, hamburger helper with no meat.
Yeah, just helper.
Yeah, we call that the helpa.
Yeah, the po helper. It was bad.
Oh yeah, I mean, we weren't in the military, but we were young people, so yeah, we lived that life. It was totally. But I do think there was value to living that life too.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh, there's still days I'm like, I miss that time.
because
There was
you had to be
first,
so
like,
resourceful.
that first year of marriage, I don't know, it was just
Oh no,
and
I get it.
first place, first this, first that, you know.
Well, and the like that feeling you would get, like I don't know, maybe it was just me, but I mean, we'd find something for the house, and it was probably at a thrift store or on the side of the road or what, however we came across it, and just like seeing it in place, and you're like, oh my God, it's adorable.
I had to teach Chris the art of garage sales.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, your hands are warm.
You know, and then like and like that making, like, to me it was just like really special. Like, you didn't have to have a lot of money to enjoy each other or enjoy, you know, like the whole dancing and the one of the Blue October songs, it's, you know, dancing in the kitchen in the pale moonlight, and that always gets me because like we literally used to do that. That was like, you know, every Friday night we'd get Chinese, we'd put on some music, we'd dance, and those are still real cheap dates, but really good memories. And you know, so the people that struggled with you, that's a bond. You know,
And it's weird, I look around like all the stuff we have, and I'm thankful for
Right.
it, but sometimes I'm just like,
Sometimes I just want to throw it all away.
I know sometimes it becomes so suffocating, and you remember like when you were first married and you didn't
Oh my
have
God, you remember
much.
that 19-inch screen TV and your little fucking what was
My little boombox.
Yeah, your boombox, and we had one chair. It wasn't even a big chair either. It was like a fucking. It was like a recliner
It was
that
like
you
an
would.
office chair recliner.
Yeah, and that was it.
Yep.
That was
Sometimes I think about that. Like, I mean, when we were a little further than that, we had the rug in our very first Walmart entertainment center. And
oh yeah, and you thought you were hot shit. You were like, look at this.
we had Aunt Sue's old couch set.
When we got married, we had probably the bed I was conceived on, if we want to be real about
Oh,
it.
my lantern.
Yeah, we had my parents' California king bed. Woo!
Oh shit! No, we had a full size.
And well, okay, like I said, I was probably conceived when it was Earl. Okay, like you get, if you rolled over a little bit, you get the whoop, and then now we're all stuck in the center. We have to be close. And we had like that, that meme that's always going around about the couch. That's got like the autumn and the flowers and the wagon.
Yeah, we had that.
That was our first couch because it was my mom and dad's. Yeah, our first apartment was an ode to the 70s and 80s. Okay.
Oh yeah, I had the sugar coffee canister set that I got from his mom. That was like the yellow mushroom type.
Oh yeah,
things.
yeah.
Since we've been married, we have not gone without a coffee canister set of some kind.
Even though I don't use them.
Yeah, well, it's just a thing you get. You know, it's like, who really puts their coffee in them? I know one.
No, we did. We did.
Did you for a while? I never did.
Before we used the Keurig.
I can't put the sugar in there because the ants will get it. But no, those actually do seal.
Oh yeah,
so
I like
those. But like those old ones, you can't put sugar in those. Be covered in ants.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think we are about out of time on this one. Any final thoughts?
Reminisce on the past. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It made me smile.
It's very, very bittersweet. It makes you think about how lucky you are to be where you are today.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.